You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and in your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining me once again. We literally just finished wrapping up a review of Power about 30 minutes ago, and I told you I was coming back to discuss this press conference that they had today in honor of Sean Diddy Combs. So please, everybody, make sure you come on in, hit the like and share button if you will. Thank you so much. What up, PDP? What up, Tia? Hey, Tia, long time no see. What up, Chakra King Black? Hey, who else is in the house? Who else is in the house? Miss Coffee. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Chakra King Black said bars. Yes, bars, courtesy of my niece, Thailand Music. Yes. But yes, I hope you all are having a wonderful Tuesday. It's a lot of things been going on lately, right? A lot of things going on. I really wanted to chime in earlier on this P. Diddy debacle kerfuffle, and then I was going to make a couple of videos, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do a video on the conference today, and then I'll just make some update videos maybe tomorrow or the next day, since I really don't have any other TV show reviews, and what's going on in the B sector right now is not keeping my interest, with what I got going on and my work schedule and everything. So I'm just doing the content that I want to do for right now, and that is trying to keep up with my TV show reviews, with my busy schedule, and chiming in a little bit on this Diddy stuff, which is, really trending, and it's a hot topic. Can't lie, it's a hot topic. But yes. So I will be playing the press conference, which is about, let me see, I think it's 40 minutes long. Hold on, let me see. Yep, it's a little less than 40 minutes. So I will be playing the press conference. Matter of fact, let me put up my little, hold on, let me get my little copyright. I get my little copyright. Here we go. Copyright disclaimer, because we will be, watching the video of the press conference. And it is for educational purposes, criticism, comment, news reportings, education, research, all that. Fair use. We're claiming fair use. So just in case, going to claim fair use. But yeah, I'm also going to be stopping the video every now and then. I'll try not to stop it too often, because I know how some people, oh my gosh, they just stopped the videos. Oh my gosh, you got to give commentary every 2 minutes. Oh my gosh. But we do have to get commentary when we claiming fair use, when we playing content sometimes. So every now and then I will chime in to do a little, commentary. But for the most part, we just trying to find out some information on Diddy. Like, they talking 3,200 total so far. And I had said maybe a week or so, I said, man, people are going to start coming out the woodworks. And I didn't think it would be like in the thousands. I thought it would be like in the hundreds. I know that the attorney has said they're about to file like 120 more cases, but thousands, 3,200 alleged victims, and some of them was minors. So yeah, we about to sit here and watch this, right? And y'all make sure you feel free to comment in the chat. At the end, I'll drop the link if anybody wants to jump on here and discuss it with me or discuss anything that we saw or heard in this press conference. I will be dropping the link afterwards. But again, make sure you like and share the video on the way in, and feel free to hit the Cash App if you want to donate to the commentary or to the platform, $the Hood Table 402. Please and thank you very much. So let's get right to it, y'all. Let me bring this lawyer up on the screen, and I'm going to hit mute.
Many people and many entities involved. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice. But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You would be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love. I mean, there's a reason for this word fans. They're fanatics. I've personally already been threatened multiple times on social media. And when I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much. This isn't my first rodeo. But victims who step forward to have their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of conduct. They should not be targeted. I want to say this, and I want to be clear about it. Although we are vetting each call as stringently as we can, I always start with a mindset that I believe victims. I believe victims because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward. So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts, we check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against. We did not enter this fray blindly. I wish it was my last such fray. I wish this type of behavior wasn't so pervasive, but it is what it is, so we will press on. As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females. There are 60 males and 60 females who have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida. I don't want to focus on the ages of these victims. When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time. Now, when you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago, and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I'll use New York, the state of New York, as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that revive such claims, and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward because they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one. And I expect more victims will come forward. You know, there's an old saying that says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there, do a little commentary like we have to do sometimes when we're reporting on, coverage. And shout out to all the people in the chat. Please make sure you like and share the video on the way in. Again, I'll be dropping a link at the end to anybody who wants to come up here and join me to discuss this. But I just want to say how I had said the other day, this is very familiar, very similar to what we experienced or what we saw happen throughout all the years with R. Kelly. His spanned 30 years. They're saying Diddy spanned 25 years, and that is what we know of right now. That is what we know of right now. Because like I said last week, it's going to be people coming out the woodworks. I didn't expect thousands, but this attorney, he seems like a very smart attorney, very intelligent, because they are literally weeding out everyone who they think, not necessarily that they think they might be lying or just after a bag, but everyone that they think they might not have enough proof. Because with cases like these, especially against these high profile people like Diddy, superstars, celebrities, you need more than just, yeah, he touched me. Yeah, they need proof. He talking about we getting pictures, we getting videos, we getting text messages. They even checking venues. So if you say something happened back in the day, at a party, at a concert, or anything, they checking videos. They probably checking, where did you stay at the hotel? Which hotel did you stay with? How did you get there? Which rental car company did you use? How did they running through everybody with a fine tooth comb as much as they can, which I hope will help with all this chatter in the back, like you talking about all these keyboard gangsters, because we saw how hard people go for the R. Kellys, the Bill Cosbys, even the ones on the flip side. Okay, y'all know what I mean on the flip side. The Harveys, the Epsteins, people have those fans. And some of those fans are keyboard gangsters. And they will troll the hell out of you. And this attorney is like, despite all the keyboard gangsters, we will help you. We can help you. You just got to come forward. But to hear the ages range from 9 years old, 14 and 15, I'm not surprised. But 9 years old, and that is just one child that so far has came forward. I still do believe that it's going to be, it's going to be so many people. It's just going to be ridiculous. But anyway, moving right along. Let me read some of your comments. I'm sorry if I had Diddy's. Oh yeah, I saw that when I was playing it. You would have left. You would have left, huh? You would have went to somewhere where they can't extradite, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. You said Ron Savage, one of African Bambatal's victims, was part of the group who raised the status of limitations and saying, yes, in New York. And I do appreciate those type of states, because the reason why this attorney, a lot of these attorneys try to really scrutinize each and every case and make sure they have enough evidence to prove a case, is because when this stuff goes so far back, it's way harder to, prove that somebody did a certain act. But it helps when these states allow people to come forward. You know what I'm saying? It helps when the states allow people. I don't think that they should put a cap on when somebody can come forward as a victim, especially when they know if you're a younger child that you might be like pressured or scared to come forward. A lot of people who have things done to them as a child don't even realize it's wrong until they get older. And then it's like, dang, who would believe me now if I didn't say anything years ago? You know what I mean? So, yeah. But anyway, moving right along. Let me go on mute.
Primarily in Los Angeles or in Florida, primarily in Miami. Claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time. Now, when you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago, and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I'll use New York, the state of New York, as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that revive such claims, and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward because they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one. And I expect more victims will come forward. You know, there's an old saying that says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida, primarily in Miami. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, the all-white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people, people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct in the promise of being made a star, or in the promise of having Sean Combs listen to their tape or even let them read for Sean Combs. You should know that some of this behavior occurred at well-known venues in New York City. Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know. Some of this behavior occurred at hotels that we're all familiar with. You should know that more than 55% of the victims filed reports, reported this conduct to either the authorities, that is the police, or to hospitals. We're in the process of collecting with our team assistants, medical records, reports that were made to the authorities. And I've already said that some of the individuals in this group did in fact talk to the FBI. You should know that several of the individuals, and when I say several, I mean many, who did in fact seek medical treatment were drug tested, and drugs were found in their system, weird drugs that you probably never heard of. One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine, or trank, which based on our research is known as a horse tranquilizer. Now, there's been a lot of reports that we're filing a class action. This is not a class action. Class action is when one or two people file a case on behalf of a group of people. That's not this. These cases will be individual cases. Each case will live and die on its own merit. These cases will be filed individually, one plaintiff against whoever the defendants were involved in the case. Each case may be filed in one venue like California. Another case may be filed in New York. One case may sue just Sean Combs, but multiple other people. One case may sue a range of people. I would expect most, though, to be filed, as I said, in New York and Los Angeles. Now, I know this. Many of you came here thinking or hoping or perhaps believing that I may start naming names. Well, that day will come, but it won't be today. The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are. And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing. And I'm talking about the people that participated, encouraged it, egged it on. They know who they are. I call them the facilitators of foul play, willing participants in vile conduct. As we identify them, each will be part of this case as defendants. These defendants will not only include individuals, but would also include corporate entities who ultimately profited off of this culture and behavior. I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels. We know that many of these individuals were paid cash. We know that many of these individuals involved, whether they were the ones being assaulted and abused, or they're witnessing other people being assaulted and abused, and then paid and threatened and told to leave. Typically paid 10 grand in cash and told to leave, and then threatened as they were leaving. So in addition to Sean Combs, you should know the defendants in these cases we're going to file will include anyone, of course, who engaged in the assault or exploitation, anyone who participated in such in any way, anyone who encouraged or facilitated this conduct, anyone who was in the room and watched it happen but made no effort to stop it, any venue or venue owner who was aware of what was going on but failed to stop it, any individual or entity who knew about the conduct and benefited from it but did nothing to report it or stop it, and any individual or entity who covered it up or helped cover it up. These people who know who they are should just come forward now. I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data. Now, although these are, in fact, individual cases, there is a common theme, an MO, if you will. Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims, many times passing him or her around as other people watch and enjoy the show, and then leave the victim ashamed, confused, injured, and wondering what happened. When the victim reaches out, he or she is told not to say anything. Sometimes there are threats of physical violence or financial repercussions or bodily harm. The claims we intend to bring will include the following: violent sexual assault or rape, sexual abuse, facilitated sex with a controlled substance, false imprisonment, compelling prostitution, sexual misconduct, dissemination of video recordings, false imprisonment, sexual abuse of minors. Given the large volume of cases, and given our other docket obligations, and given the fact that we want to be sure when we file these cases that they are fully vetted, I expect we'll start filing these cases against Sean Combs and others.
Wow. PDP said, child, I have been around Puff and Bad Boy at his recording studio several times over the years. They even offered me a paid internship when I got out of college. Really? Wow. The only thing that stopped me was I got a job at the phone company. God was looking out. Man, God was sure enough looking out. Especially when they say men or women, male or female, minors, teenagers, grown people. They didn't discriminate. They obviously didn't discriminate. And you know what? Oh, man, they are coming after everyone. This is going to, man, this is, boy, I'm telling you, this is going to make everybody come out the closet. You hear that, attorney? Man, that's the kind of attorney I want. He talking about anyone who engaged, anyone who participated, a spectator, a venue. It don't matter if it was from a library to a hotel to maybe an Airbnb, somewhere where they had a concert, an after party. It don't matter. They coming for everybody. I know this attorney probably got so many people working with him to go way back in time, like Blackstreet say, way back in time, back in the day, because they is about to have so much. I can't imagine the files that they about to have on this man. Ooh, I hate to be, man, I'm telling you, I say it once and I say it again. These people who do this type of behavior, Diddy and a lot of other people, it's so many who have yet who have yet to be exposed. And I know some people are always saying, well, why they want to get this person? Why they want to get, but they ain't got that person. Especially, the people want to compare the black and the white. I hate when people want to compare the black and the white. Like when somebody say, well, Diddy shouldn't be in jail. Kelly shouldn't be in jail. Cosby shouldn't be in the jail. Anybody who's black shouldn't be in jail because that white person over there ain't in jail. So if that was your child, your mom, your wife, your friend, your sister, who was victimized by certain people like them, you don't want them to go to jail because some white motherfucker didn't go to jail. It's crazy to me. It's really crazy, but I understand what they're saying. Like, okay, there's bigger people. Diddy and R. Kelly, they the kind of people who might have been at the bottom of the totem pole, even though they seem like they're way at the top because they're so powerful. But we always know with power, there's always somebody over you who is more powerful. And like Ray J, no, not Ray J, but like Suge Knight said in his Chris Como interview the other day, a lot of the things that Diddy is doing was done to him. I strongly believe that. Just like in the case with Kels, a lot of shit Kels was doing was done to him. A lot of shit that was allowed to happen to him was at the blame and fault of his mother. Y'all remember when the neighbor down the street, the one everybody called Uncle, was one of the first ones to touch Kelly, had him running out his house down the street screaming. What the mother do? When the man went to jail, the man said, I will give you this much money if you drop the charges. And his mama, a lot of us grew up poor and broke, especially me. I grew up poor, five broke, poor, down at the bean and cheese and butter line. Broke, okay? Section 8, welfare, food stamps, okay? Medicaid. All right. So, yeah, I know how it is to be broke, but there's certain things that you shouldn't sell your soul for. And yeah, a lot of times it's always the victim becomes the victimizer. That's how it works, That's how it works. But yeah, you said if you was just their child, people fretting this coming out, they are like Freaknik documentary. Ooh, Petey P. Man, I'm telling you, I always, when I was younger, wanted to go to Freaknik. But now looking back, people still got all that video footage. I couldn't imagine at my age with kids and grandbabies, and they see me throwing that ass back, no clothes on, just lifting my skirt up, have somebody pull the pants to the side. I ain't gonna get all that, but they was doing some freaky shit down there, right? And some of them was doing shit to people that didn't want shit done to them. And they still have all that footage, a lot of footage. Yeah. Anyway, moving right along. Let me go on mute. I'm gonna rewind it just a tad bit so we can get back to where we was.
Other perpetrators. The claims we intend to bring will include the following: violent sexual assault or rape, sexual abuse, facilitated sex with a controlled substance, false imprisonment, compelling prostitution, sexual misconduct, dissemination of video recordings, false imprisonment, sexual abuse of minors. Given the large volume of cases and given our other docket obligations, and given the fact that we want to be sure when we file these cases that they are fully vetted, I expect we'll start filing these cases against Sean Combs and other perpetrators within the next 30 days. Now, it's rare, sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, this type of activity is pervasive in our society, and it's rare we get a chance where we can really focus on this as a country and really focus on this about how pervasive this is and what we as collectively can do about it. So I thought I'd take this opportunity before I go into some of the individual cases and talk about some of the individual claims being made and so you'll get a sense of what this 120 people group looks like individually. I want to bring forward Carrie Paul. She's a national victim advocate who helps victims who have been victimized by this type of conduct. And she has some important words, and I hope you'll pay close attention. I think it's important that you hear from her.
Hello, I'm Carrie Paul with the National Victim Advocate. It's not easy for any survivor to come forward. Our culture doesn't believe survivors. It blames and questions them. Instead of showing support, many choose to enable abusers. The media runs stories asking why it took so long for survivors to come forward instead of asking what barriers exist. We also don't equip law enforcement with the ability to handle sexual assault crimes. Lack of funding translates to lack of training. We have officers in the field that don't know what to say to a rape victim, and also an alarming amount of backlogged, untested rape kits. Prosecutors are focused on what they can prove in a case, and if so, how to do that at time of trial. Advocates and staff are stretched thin with growing caseloads in the criminal justice system. Most people don't know how the criminal justice works in general. There isn't enough staff or resources to adequately explain the entire process to every victim and survivor. Our culture works against victims and survivors every day, and abusers know this. Abusers work themselves into positions of power, building a public image that is trusted and financially large enough to make people look away. Abusers are unfortunately very skilled at power and control, the foundation of abuse. They seek victims who are vulnerable, such as children, their employees, and their intimate partners, all who see a different version than the public does, all who rely on the abuser in some way. And for those that do come forward and aren't believed, face questions like, are you sure it happened that way? Were you drinking? What were you wearing? All of this creates an environment that enables abusers to continue abusing them and future victims. To the survivors that have come forward despite not being believed at some point in time, your courage is like nothing we have seen before. We thank you for coming forward for yourself and all survivors. And lastly, I want all survivors that are watching this to know we believe you and we support you. Thank you.
I want you now to hear from my co-counsel, Andrew Van Arsdale. We've created a sexual abuse hotline, and I want him to visit with us just a few moments about how that works and the kind of volume of calls we've received.
Thank you, Tony. Like Tony said, my name is Andrew Van Arsdale. I'm the managing partner of ABA Law Group. We have offices in California, Montana, and North Carolina. To build off of what you just so well said, it's very hard to come forward. And given what we've experienced the past 10 days is really unprecedented in my career, at least. We represent thousands of survivors of abuse, and never, ever in a 10-day period have we seen over 3,000 people come forward, or we've confirmed and decided to investigate and represent 120 people, while we're continuing to work through another 100 plus cases to prove them up, to validate what has happened here, and to hold those that are responsible accountable. And so like Tony said, we've set this up. It's 1-800-200-7474. I have a team of people standing by literally. If you know that this happened to someone and you have information about it, please contact us. If this happened to you, come forward. There's attorney-client privilege here. What you tell us is in confidence. Yes, we'll have to go out and build your case, but we will protect you. And the other thing that I want to say is the pattern and practice of this, again, is unprecedented. Over 30 plus years of the same sort of events happening, people thrust into the circle reportedly, and horrible things happening to them as a result. And from talking to these people that have come forward these past 10 days, I can tell you unequivocally that because the federal government did what it needed to do and indicted this man, that they put him in jail and a judge kept him in jail, they tell me directly, this validates my feelings. For so long, I thought it was my fault. What is it about me that put myself in that scenario? What was I wearing at the time? What did I do to be subjected to such horrific treatment at these people that I was trying to trust? Well, we know now it was not your fault. You were victimized by a group of powerful people that operated for 30 plus years, taking advantage of their wealth and the power that they held within the music industry. So again, thank you to every single person that has come forward and contacted our office over the past 10 days. If you or someone you know suffered the same sort of treatment, please contact us at the number behind me and we will help you. Thank you.
I think it speaks to how important this issue is in the United States and frankly, internationally, that we have reputable people here that want to provide kind of information that I think victims need to hear, witnesses need to hear, the public needs to hear. Let me introduce to you now Olivia Rivers from the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, and let her visit with you a few moments about these types of cases.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Q Olivia Rivers. I am just served my 6th year as the board chair for the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault. I'm also the CEO for the Bridge Over Troubled Waters, which is a local rape crisis center here in the Houston area. So thank you for being here as we address these heinous crimes. Sexual assault is not just a crime of violence against the body. It's an assault on the very essence of human dignity and safety. It shatters lives, it destroys confidence, and all too often, it leaves survivors feeling like they are voiceless, isolated, and vulnerable. The reality for many survivors is that coming forward to report their assault is one of the most difficult and daunting tasks that they will ever have to do. And for some, it may take days, months, or even years to speak up if they ever do. The reasons for this have been mentioned, but include the fear of being disbelieved, being blamed or judged, and of course, retaliation. The trauma of the assault itself being compounded by the trauma of the criminal justice process, where survivors must relive their experience in order to seek justice. And these feelings and fears are further exacerbated when the allegations are against prominent figures in the entertainment industry or Hollywood. Cases involving powerful figures often attract significant media attention, which can deter victims from coming forward due to fear of public exposure or scrutiny. The intense focus on these high-profile cases can make survivors feel that their personal lives are being put under a microscope, causing further emotional distress. These allegations mentioned here today, as reported, reflect deeply troubling claims that deserve thorough investigation, and no individual, regardless of their stature, is above the law or public accountability. Sadly, the statistics paint a very disturbing picture. According to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men will experience some form of sexual violence in their lifetime. In the U.S. alone, there are approximately 463,000 victims of rape or sexual assault every year, and these numbers barely scratch the surface, as sexual violence remains one of the most underreported crimes. But the numbers that follow tell an even more troubling story. Only about 23% of sexual assaults are reported to law enforcement. Of those, just 5% lead to an arrest, and even fewer, less than 1% of reported cases ever result in a conviction, which is a devastating gap between the crime and the justice that survivors deserve. I want to briefly focus on our state here in Texas. According to the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, 6.3 million Texans, men and women, will experience some form of violence. That's every 2 minutes someone is sexually assaulted, meaning during the course of this press conference, around 60 individuals will forever be changed by this violence. And those are just a few of the victims. Obviously, this is unacceptable. We cannot allow this cycle of silence and inaction to continue. We have to create an environment where survivors feel empowered to come forward, where they are met with empathy and respect and support, not skepticism and blame. We have to ensure that our legal system is equipped to handle these cases with the seriousness they deserve, and that survivors have access to the resources that they need beyond the legal courtroom. We have to address the root causes of this epidemic: prevention, awareness, and fostering environmental respect, consent, and safety are non-negotiable values. Additionally, support for survivors has to be holistic. They have to have access to counseling, medical services, legal advocacy, and of course, community support, regardless of whether they choose to report or not. To every survivor who has come forward, your bravery is an inspiration. To those who are still grappling with their decision, know that you are not alone and that your voice matters. Your story matters. We see you, we believe you, and we are committed to fighting for a future where sexual violence is no longer tolerated and where justice is not the exception but the standard.
I want to visit.
Yeah, I do apologize, P to P, but yeah, that was their video. I don't know what was going on with that lady's mic, but it did get really low. I was like, Lord, I hope it picks back up or gets back louder. But I think somebody, realized that she wasn't able to be heard, so they fixed that. But yeah, the sound is already low as it is. With a lot of times with these press conferences, it be like that because the people recording it is far back, into the crowd. They might be like off to the side or off, but y'all know how it is. What up, Kenna? How you doing? How you doing? But just want to read some of PDP's. You know what, PDP? I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing surprised me when it comes to these celebrities. You mentioned Monica. Nothing surprises me. Monica was what, 12? Her and Brandy both was like 12, 11, 12, 13 when they first got into the industry. They might didn't make their first album till they was like 14 or something like that, but they definitely was out there at like 11, 12, 13. But Monica, even though, I had heard that her mom was really on her tail, as far as, some parents is like, okay, you want my child to work for you? It's me and my child. Wherever they go, I go. She get a hotel, I get a hotel. I'm on the bus with her, whatever. I'm backstage waiting for her to end her concert. But then, parents can't always be around. So nothing surprises me. And about that Clive stuff, like I said, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to see who all. They said we are going to be shocked by some of the names that are involved. And I know we will be shocked by some, but some of them we going to be like, yeah, I knew it. I knew your ass was a freak. I knew you was doing shit. Yeah. But see, again, when I talk about Kelly, I still question the fact, like, why is he the only one locked up? Why isn't there an attorney like this man, a prosecutor, doing this in the R. Kelly case? And some people's like, well, he wasn't as big as Diddy. And he still had people working for him that was transporting children, transporting women, locking them up, feeding them like they in jail, like through a damn hole in the door. They in there, they knew they was locked up. They knew they was being abused. I still don't understand why Diddy is the only one that's locked up. I still don't understand. Yeah, Clive is protected, but I don't think it's going to be for long, child. They trying to take down the whole, it's going to be a domino effect. What's up, Deanna? How you doing, Burbo Assassin? How you doing, love? It's going to be a domino effect. Child. They all need to be locked up, Kenna. All of them. Like, all of them. Like this kind of thing, abuse, especially with children, is a touchy spot for me. Because me, like a lot of others, we can go ahead and do that. You too. Hashtag you too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. A lot of people I know are you too's. Yeah, me too. Me too. I say you too. Me too. That's what I meant, child. Me too. A lot of us, a lot of people that I know from family, friends, co-workers, associates. Oh my God. Like it's so many people I've met over the span of my life who had things happen to them as a young person. So it's one thing to do this shit to a grown up, drug them. They using horse drugs, horse tranquilizers. Yeah, I know you said you too. PDP. Don't make fun of me. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I mean hashtag me too, but hashtag you too. They gonna be okay. That's what it is, PDP. When they get all these people, when they start arresting all these people, it's gonna be hashtag you too, motherfucker. Hashtag you too. Yes, it's more in the hip hop world. It absolutely more. And when we hear this lawyer talk about things that we already know what they promise a lot of these younger people. Promised them fame, record deals. I mean, they said people was promised that he would listen to their tapes. It's the same thing, just like any of those other music representatives, those producers, like Kells. Always have to bring it back to him because he was one of the big hip hoppers or in the big music industry that's going down for this type of behavior. So I always try to compare it to Kells with the similarities. And it's a lot of similarities except for this lawyer and his firm is determined to take down not Diddy. They taking down everybody. And you know what we was talking about the other day? Y'all, I don't know if any of y'all saw my little video I did about all the celebrities that are deleting their Twitter posts. A lot of celebrities is going back years and deleting even Usher, deleting all their Twitter posts. You know why? Because like this man said, we're going to be getting records of venues, hotels, after parties, the hotel, motel, holiday inn. Okay, they getting all kind of records. Who was there? Who wasn't there? You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they sat old ass Clav up on that stand. I wouldn't be surprised. Anywho, the casting couch, and they also call it the red couch. PDP, the casting couch, aka red couch. Bieber, Usher. Can I go way back? Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Y'all know who I'm talking about? That part. But moving right along.
Committee real quickly before we close here about some specific instances without disclosing the victim's name. You probably know that depending on the age of the victim, you can file these cases, these individual cases, under Jane Doe or John Doe. Each state is different in that respect. Typically, there is a balancing test, like the public's right to know the name of the victim and plaintiff versus the confidentiality and the safety of the plaintiff. So we'll have to struggle with that with each one of these cases. Our intention, of course, is to, like we always do, file these cases under pseudonym until the court tells us otherwise. But let me share with you a few, just kind of give you a sense of the kind of cases and the kind of instances that people are calling and reporting that we are trying to corroborate, vet. These are the ones that we've already corroborated, vetted, and collected evidence on. One individual, he was 22 years at the time, she was assaulted, said that the typical MO at one of these parties that have been widely discussed in the press was that when you are handed a drink and and now we know that the drink is laced with something. If you refuse to drink it, you were kicked out of the party. And let that sink in for a minute. I mean, the admission to this party was that you had to drink the chosen drink that was handed to you. And now we know that in most cases, I would say 90% of the cases, these individuals were drugged with some sort of drug. That was kind of the MO. Another instance, this individual who was 9 years old at the time was taken to an audition in New York City with Bad Boy Records. Other boys were there to audition as well. All of them were trying to land a record deal. All of them were minors. This individual was sexually abused, allegedly by Sean Combs and several other people at the studio in the promise to both his parents and to him himself of getting a record deal. Another instance, another minor, told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged, and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual minor was raped, and then other individuals took turns raping her. Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up by, allegedly, by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus, where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another instance, an individual, this time not a minor, was attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed, again, allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore. And I could go on. I mean, literally, you're sensing a theme here. It's the same theme. And it all involves some sort of drug. One instance, an individual who was 20 years old at the time was asked to attend, just saw her on the street, asked to attend a party in a hotel. She was flattered, went to the party.
Let me tell you. See, the thing about it is, a lot of these celebrities, these big celebrities, producers in the entertainment world, most of them are bisexual. We come to find out, or either gay and have a beard, because they don't want nobody really to know they're gay, except for the closest people around them. But what I find crazy is how all these parties, all these victims, and I keep saying society, even people be telling me, don't say society, it's not a society, but to me, it's a society. Like, it's like this high profile society, this secret place where nobody really comes out like the celebrities, the ones who knows what's going on there. They literally will see what's going on. Some of them might participate, some of them unwillingly, but a lot of them did not participate. It's a lot of celebrities that said they didn't participate, or they heard a lot of shit be going on at the Diddy parties, and so they never went. But to go 25, 30 something years and not even a celebrity, like it's to me, it's like a police force. You have your good apples and you have your bad apples. And a lot of times the reason why the bad apples at the police force are still allowed to be abusive and unalive people is because the good apples, oh man, that's our brother. Oh, we can't say nothing. If we do say something, it might be consequences and repercussions. We might face retaliation. It's like the same thing to me. It's like the same thing to me. You know, and PDP said, there's PDP. I've been saying this for years. I have been convinced for years that Tevin, man, I remember when Tevin was, oh my God, Tevin was on his game. I mean, making 1, 2, 3. I think by the time the fourth CD came out, it was like, what the hell? Tevin? I think you need to be working with somebody else. By the time like that fourth one came out, I was like, you know, when he had some braids, I'm like, Tevin, who the hell told you to put some braids in your damn hair? You ain't no, that don't look good. It was around that time I was like, something is wrong with Tevin. Next thing you know, Tevin fell off the map music-wise. But as far as being out there in the streets, allegations and arrests of trying to pick up prostitutes and all that kind of shit, that's what he became known for after that. And it was just crazy how then next thing we know he gay. And I'm not saying that, I mean, I know PDP said that as he got turned out. Maybe the boy was gay all along. You know, a lot of people in their younger years as children, they know they gay. But I still think whether he was gay or straight as a child, I still think that something was done to him. Can't nobody make me believe differently. The thing about it though, Tevin has never really came out saying that something really happened to him. But we hear about all the other, younger victims, allegedly. Like the Biebers, the Ushers. Um, we hear about a lot of other people, a lot of younger stars, celebrities. The allegations, they be out there. They be out there. But sometimes when you even ask them about it, or when they're asked about it, they say, "Oh, that's crazy. That ain't never happened to me." Why? Because I think that they still have a fear of retaliation. Even if the last CD they made was 25 years ago, they still have a fear. These people are powerful. And when we talk about people that's powerful, there is nothing that they wouldn't do. Nothing. And I'm going to leave that right there. Nothing that they would not do to protect their secrets. And as far as Kenna, you said the hood table, how are CCs able to play these videos without copyright? What I do is I always go to the news stations. I always go to the news stations. I never play other people's YouTube videos. I rarely play other people's IGs or TikToks. I rarely do that. Usually when I do cover like news stories like this, even from my own city, I find me a video on the news websites, because on the news websites it's easier to claim fair use. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I normally do. But yeah, I'm not big at just, taking some YouTubers, But anyway, always do put up my banner though, like I did at the beginning. I always do put up my banner to make sure, that they know that these are purposes. We're playing this for purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, education, and research. So I always put that in there just to be safe. Just to be safe. And PDP said, and like Hassan Campbell once and famously said, people who get touched, there you go, PDP. The victim becomes the big victimizer. The prey becomes the predator. There you go. That part. But moving right along. And sorry I have to interrupt the video every now and then, but we do have to do commentary when we play in other people's content. All right. So here we go.
It's given one drink and doesn't remember anything else. Ultimately, was so messed up, went to the hospital where they found cocaine and this horse tranquilizer in her blood system. I'll give you a quote from a very young man who told us over the phone about his experience and all the things that happened to him. He says allegedly at the hands of Sean Diddy Combs and his friends in the effort to try to sign a record deal. This was kind of what he was told he would have to do. His quote is, "Had he not been in power, I feel like I could have been something great. I quit the industry because of what Sean Combs did to me." And that's really what it comes down to. We are pursuing this, asking you to support this effort, to encourage witnesses and victims to come forward and bring your evidence so we can continue to break down this wall of silence and we can continue to have these stories heard. This is the beginning of what I hope to be a national dialogue. This type of sexual assault, sexual abuse, and sexual exploitation should never happen in the United States or anywhere else. This should have never been allowed to go on for so long. This conduct has created a mass of individuals who are injured, scared, and scarred. If you are one of those individuals, we ask you to reach out. If not to us, to someone you trust. If you are someone who witnessed any of these events, we ask you to reach out. Your name can remain confidential. With that, I'll take a few questions, not many, maybe two, but if you have a question, I'll be pleased to try to answer it.
How many minors are making accusations in total, and are the feds aware of the allegations of minors in the case?
I don't know what the feds are aware of, okay, but I do know there's 25 out of this 120. I will say this to that point. We welcome the FBI or any authority who wants to come to us, and we're going to make that available to these victims because I think that's important. My suspicion is, based on talking with these folks, is that the FBI is just not aware of these people. The FBI has talked to some of these folks, and I'm going to try to encourage the victims to, in fact, talk to the FBI because I think they have some very important things to say.
Were all of your children auditioning because they were musicians, or were any of them kids of employees?
All seeking either TV or some sort of music career with promises of, we're going to make you a star. Instead, basically did things to them such that they don't want to have anything to do with the entertainment industry ever. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your attention. We're going to go now. Thank you.
All promise to be a star. That's how it always works. All promise to be a star. 25 minors ranging from 9 years old through teen years. They use trank. They call it trank, which is a abbreviation or a nickname for a horse tranquilizer. Can you imagine? That is like they put down horses with that shit, right? They put down horses with that shit. Just a little bit of that shit will have your ass knocked out for 24 fucking hours. The women who woke up in pain, couldn't find their underwear, couldn't find their shoes, and they were literally tore from the rooter to the tutor. From the rooter to the tutor. What's crazy is a lot of times when a woman has sex, if you've already had sex or been having sex like for a year, not for a year, but for years, for a period of time, just having sex won't leave you tore. It won't leave you in pain. Sometimes you might wake up feeling it, but it's a good feeling. Like, ooh, you know how you females wake up after some good ass sex and you wake up and it's still tingling and you're like, oh, the next day you at work shivering just thinking about it. So for them to wake up in pain from the rooter to the tutor, that means they were just as rough with them as they could be, and or it was a lot of different people doing things to them. Okay, and ain't no telling if they were using objects as well. Ain't no telling. They could have had dildos, butt plugs, all kinds of shit. Okay, ain't no telling. And then to wake up and ask what had happened, and you are told, get your ass out of here, go home, get your pocketbook and leave, and you threaten, what happened to my career? What happened to my music deal? What happened before you can even hum a verse, sing a verse, rap some bars? You already been put out by a horse tranquilizer. Oh wait, already been put out by a horse tranquilizer. These people weren't even given chance to get up on a stage or get in front of, we see it on TV in these TV shows, right? Especially when we watch these older TV shows about how these music groups came up, and they have this tape and they going producer to producer to producer to producer. They screaming outside of the producer studio, please listen to my tape, please. They run it up on producers at concerts and in restaurants, please listen to my tape, please. Like, this is literally what these kids were doing. Like, please just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. And then you promise, come on. Yeah, meet Puffy. Yeah, everybody want to meet Puffy. Puffy was the shit back then. Puffy was in every fucking video, every song. I mean, like they said, like Suge Knight said, that's the reason why him and Suge Knight fell out. That's the reason why they fell out, because of that one time back in, what, it was in 95? When when Suge Knight got on stage at the award show and said, if anybody wants to deal with a producer or a company that ain't trying to be in every music video that you produce, come to, come to us, okay? And that was it. That was it right there. And we all remember Diddy was in everything. I'm like, God damn, he's in everybody's video. He's not only producing, managing, he's literally in everybody's shit. So he's getting his coin all the way around, right? But to be promised these things, these deals, and then you go home with your ass, throat, and everything else sore, don't know what happened, don't know who did what, don't know if it was filmed, if it was recorded, if there was an audience, you have no idea. And then you told to get your ass out of there. You threat. Yeah, he needs to be brought down. Now, one thing the attorney did say, um, one thing the attorney did say was that a lot of people have come forward, but the FBI don't know all the people who were involved. Like, so what they're trying to do is have some of the victims, the ones who are coming forward, speak to the FBI, because this is the thing. When you're dealing with this type of powerful people, you can't just go get your attorney. You can't just go to the police and say, this happened. You have to fully cooperate. And everything has to be, everything. We need proof of everything. So you can't be, well, I don't want to talk to the FBI and I don't want to talk to them and I don't want to talk to them. No, it don't work like that. And again, I'm glad they're weeding them out and vetting all the people who are, they said in 10-day period, over 3,000 people reached out to them in 10 days. That's just them. Like I said, I think it's we talking 30 years. We talking all these goddamn parties. Diddy was having parties all the damn time. They mentioned a Halloween party, 4th of July party, New Year party, album release party, after parties. Just birthday parties. We woke up this morning party. We bought a new yacht party. Shit. That's all they did back in the 90s was party. That's all they did. But yeah, I really hope that they take him down and everybody else who was involved. And another thing the attorney said was, it don't matter. It don't matter who was involved. how big they are, how powerful they are, how famous they are. It doesn't matter. They don't care who the enablers are that help, facilitate these parties. They are going to expose all enablers no matter who it all implicates. And the secret that has been a secret so long, that was really not a secret, is now exposed. That's the crazy thing. Just like R. Kelly. Y'all know I always take it back to Kelly because everybody knew what Kelly was doing for years. It was a secret, but not a secret, right? Again, I go back to these celebrities who they might not have participated, but they knew what was going on. Because trust me, if I walk into one of these parties, like, oh my God, somebody has said the other day, I can't remember who it was. Somebody had said the other day, they said one time they went to one of his parties and they said there was rooms and rooms and rooms of just a whole bunch of guys having sex, a whole bunch of women, a whole bunch of like threesomes, foursomes, fivesomes, like people being gang-ard, like all kind of shit was going on. And they turned their ass around and walked right on out that motherfucker like, I left something in my car. I'll be back, and never came back. One of the people that was a victim, one of the people that was a victim at the end of the video, well, towards the end of the video, one of the people who was a victim said the whole entire reason why they left the entertainment business was because of people like Diddy. Because just imagine, you young, you just starting out, you trying to get signed to a record deal or a movie or whatever, and you meet Diddy. Now, what would make you think that everybody ain't doing the same thing? Like this is we talking Diddy, big, famous, powerful Diddy, well known. If he doing that shit, why would you think nobody else in the industry is doing that shit? So if you were abused and promised a career, promised a record deal, but instead you were abused and then kicked out the door, kicked out the door like they used to do Old Boy on the Fresh Prince. You know how they used to do Old Boy on the Fresh Prince? What was his name? What was that man's name? I can't think on the top of my head. Jazzy Jeff. You know how they used to kick Jazzy Jeff out the house, out the mansion, and we saw his ass just flying up in there. Yeah, after they do what they want to do to you, then they kick you out the door. What would make you want to remain in the industry? Now, a lot of people who are and who have remained in the industry, some of them are really famous now. Some of them have made a lot of money. They didn't been not only like music industry, TV, commercials, movies, they got their own like clothing lines, perfumes, all kind of shit, right? A lot of them sacrifice their soul for the devil. A lot of them sacrifice their souls for the devil. Because like I said, and y'all can't make me believe otherwise, nobody ever can, this is a society. It is a society. I've said that for years. There's a society where once you enter into them gates, you can either make it big or go home. You know how sometimes back in the day, and I'm going to say this and then I'm going to end, unless somebody wants to hit the link. If you want to hit the link, let me know. But I'm going to say this and then I'm going to end. You know how sometimes we used to hear these singers or rappers, and we'd be like, what the hell? Who the hell? Have you ever told yourself, if they can make a record, I can make a record. If they can be in a movie, I can be in a movie. You ever heard somebody who you like, oh my God, who gave them a record deal? They can't sing worth a damn. Like, these actors who can't act. Like, we used to say that shit all the time. There was people, not all of them, but some of them people, I guarantee you, sacrifice their careers for the devil. A lot of them. And most of them ended up being a one hit, maybe a 2-hit wonder if at best, you know. But anyway. PDP said, "Oh yeah, Tony Braxton says that L.A. Reid did it to her when she signed her contract." I used to hear shit about them too. Let me take a sip of my drink. Hold on. But yeah, if anybody wants me to drop the link, I can. You got a couple of minutes. Otherwise, I'm out of here and I'm gonna sit here and watch me some Hulu or catch up on my my one show I've been catching up on. What is the name of that show? Hold on, let me pull up Hulu right now. Let's see. What is a show that I have been binge watching? 911 Lone Star. Y'all know I'm a big fan of like those crime shows, the fireman shows, the doctor shows, you know, those type of shows. But anyway, 911, the regular 911. That just came back on. Was it 911? Hold up, y'all. I might be lying. I don't want to lie to y'all. Yep, it was 911, the regular 911, the one with oh God, why am I drawing a blank? Hold up. Bassett. The one with Bassett, Angela Bassett, the regular 911. That just came back on. I didn't think they was ever going to come back on. But the new episode of that was like last week. And then, so I've been binge watching also on the other 911, like the spinoff, I think it is. I think it's a spinoff, but it's 911 Lone Star. So that's what I've been binge watching, you know, with my free time lately, because like I said, at the end of the year, most people know, even Cruiser, when she jumped on my show, my last show I did about an hour or so ago, my power review, she jumped on here. She said, "Oh, yeah, I was just talking to you. Some people was asking where you been, and I was telling them at the end of the year, you know, y'all get real busy at your job and you be working long days." Yeah. So a lot of people who've been following me for years, they all know at the end of the year, starting in September through like February, I work very long hours, sometimes 7 days a week for weeks and weeks and weeks with no days off. Okay. So we really like at the end of the year, we have like to make sure, you know, the way we go out at the end of the year affects our raises. It affects our bonuses that come out in the spring. So if we have a large overload of work that is not completed before the end of the year, that can affect literally our raises and our bonuses next year. So that's why we work really hard at the end. We be grinding at the end of the year, trying to, you know, go out with a bang before New Year's. But yeah. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. Just a lot of working. But again, I'll get in where I fit in, whether it's a TV show review. If there is possibly something entertaining for me enough to come out here and do a beef sector commentary, I might come out and do some beef sector commentary. Other than that, I'll probably just focus more on trending news and TV shows, because I'm telling you, I've been watching the beef sector here and there, checking in when I can. And I'm like, these storylines is just so bullshit. Like, so bullshit. Okay, I can't do it. I can't even fake like I'm interested. You said, "Hey, on a side note, how you been following Wiley's situation? It looked like he's taking a plea deal and getting sentenced in November, but it don't look like he's getting out anytime soon." You know what? I need to catch up with Wiley as well. I haven't checked even the docs in a long time. And there's a lady there in that area who has been going to court and has been doing commentary on his court proceedings and whatnot. So I need to check her out as well. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I'm sure I can probably find her if I look really hard. But I know it's this black lady who's in Cali, not Cali, but who's in Vegas. And she's been kind of following it and going to the court dates and everything. So, but yeah, I really haven't been following him either. Child, I'm trying to do the best I can when it comes to this channel, because again, at the end of the year, I'm very sparingly on here, but I try to come on enough in order to stay in the algorithm. Y'all know it's important for us content creators to stay in the algorithm, because if you go a long time without doing any shows, YouTube will take you out of the algorithm. They won't be advertising you or, you know, suggesting people check out certain videos. So, you know, we have to do videos every now and then, even when we're really busy. So yeah. But on that note, you guys, I really, really appreciate you guys for supporting me tonight. This is our second show for today. Earlier for our Power Ghost fans, we did a review on Power. Y'all know we got one more episode before Power Book 2 is over. One more episode, season 4 finale next week. Well, this week. And then Power Ghost 2 is over. And then we have to look forward to the spinoff. Now, Young Champ, who was also on my panel last show, along with Cruiser. Now he had mentioned that we need to watch the trailer for the newest spinoff of Power. I admit I haven't watched it. Cruiser said I haven't watched it either. So we both, I know Cruiser probably done watched it by now, but I literally like jumped right from one video to the next video. So I haven't watched it yet, but I'm definitely gonna watch that trailer. Because he said that trailer gives some hints on who all might be in the next spinoff or what it might be about. So I'm going to go ahead and watch that trailer too before the end of the night. But I am looking forward to fit these next spinoff to the Power franchise or enterprise or whatever they call, whatever they call it. But I am going to be, pretty sad to see Power Ghost 2 go off because y'all know I've always been a big fan of Power from day one. And I always believed that Ghost wasn't really dead and that he would come back because we never really saw his body, right? So I kind of had hopes that he would come back for this spinoff with Tariq. But one episode left. I don't think it's gonna happen. But if it do, y'all know I'm gonna be a happy camper because I want to see how it's all gonna play out. But anyway, either way, when the finale comes out this week, we will be here. Okay, we will be here doing a review. Okay, so all my Power fans, make sure you get caught up because again, Ghost Book 2, the last show for the whole show for all the series is this week. Okay, and we will be live reviewing it. On that note, everybody, if you didn't like and share the video on the way in, please like and share it on the way out. Also, please make sure you hit the join button and the subscribe button if you want to become a member or a subscriber to the Hood Table, especially if you are new here. And also, always, always, always remember what we say: stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. I'm out. Bye.